Bustelo, what is that?
Wait, no, this one.
Cinnabon, what's that?
The coffee.
Oh.
The coffee you have is from Cinnabon.
Hey.
It smells like Cinnabon.
Hey. Okay. Ready? We're live. 3, 2, 1. Go for it.
All right, guys. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. First of all, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, I'm going to talk today about the Florida Hometown Heroes. And I'm going to introduce myself and give you a little bit of background and why this is super important to me. And this just touches my heart. And I want to help as many people as we possibly can. There's no limit to the amount of people that I feel like I want to help with this. So let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I am Whitney Cruz and been a loan officer since 2020. I decided when the COVID hit that it was time for a new career change. I was an NICU nurse for 17 years. So I took care of babies much smaller than this. We would take babies as low as 300 grams. And so this is what I did every day. I was promoted multiple times, was a charge nurse, all that kind of stuff. And I really, really love that job. It is still dear to my heart and my soul. And I have just a special place for this. This is me during COVID. Me and one of my good friends during COVID. And this is a little baby that I took care of. I would say about 2 years ago. I actually seen this family last week, and it was really cool because the baby is, he's growing up. He looks amazing. He's so good. So I am married, 3 children. This is Joseph right here. This is Natalia. This is Miguel, and this is my wonderful husband, Juan. So we've been together for, I don't even know, 18 years. Something like that. He was like,
you tell me.
Yeah, we literally had to do the math to go back on our anniversary last month. I was like, is it 13 or 14? So I think it's 13. I'm pretty sure we settled on 13 years.
I think we settled on it.
So I also like long walks on the beach. Yeah. I do want to know who's team mountain and who's team beach. Beach. Mountain. So we got beach over here, mountain over here.
I like the beach as long as it has a shade on it.
He doesn't
how about both?
A sunless beach.
A sunless beach, please.
Yes, I prefer. I'm really split. I've thought about this. What do I really want? I think when we went to Dominican Republic, when I saw the mountains and the beach, I was like, perfect. Put the two together, and this is where I like. So I can't really say which one because I do love both. I get peace out of both. So that's pretty much about me. Do you have any questions about my background or anything like that?
Human fire extinguisher.
That's awesome because I didn't know that you were a nurse. Yes, I was. I was a nurse. Yes, but I gave it up, and I don't regret it. I really don't. It was a time in my life, and I'm glad that's where I was. God put me there, but He also put me here now. So I focus my time on being a loan officer and helping as many people invest in homes as I could possibly help. So
it's amazing. Human fire extinguisher.
This is a daily thing. It's not like, once a week I'm a human. It's literally every day. Like somebody calls me, somebody once says, I got to get that pre-approval out right now. Oh my God, realtors, everything. So I've learned to go with the flow. In the beginning, it was a little overwhelming, but I feel like now I've been able to adapt a little bit more. I've had Sue as my mentor for a couple of years now. I think I'm settling in. And
it's very similar to the medical field. When we have a code blue, it's like we have a file. I was like, it's dying on the operating table. It's like, okay, let's bring in the doctor. We're like 1, 2, get rid of this, get rid of that. Let's go. Let's try.
So literally yesterday, we had that on a file, and then we called the client. We found out that she got a huge raise, and everything changed at that moment. So we're like 1, 2, 3, boom, it's alive again.
And it went from everything's falling apart.
Yeah,
within minutes, it was like, you're getting your raise.
I literally thought we were going to call the client to tell them, I'm really sorry, we cannot help you at this time. Let's create a game plan. But now she came in hot with a raise, and we're back in business. So yes, human fire extinguisher is something I'm super proud of. but definitely can't do it alone. So, you know.
You need the whole entire
Takes a
fire
village.
station.
I need a fire station, yes.
And we can just keep going. We can keep going
We're
with
gonna
this.
do like a picture with you guys dressed as
Firefighters,
Yes,
you know,
a big fire in
like
the
a
background.
calendar.
yeah.
Like a funny calendar. Yes, I can see.
I feel good about that.
I would have called Gary and be like, "Hey man,
Yeah,
I got this great idea. We're gonna need fire hydrants. We're gonna need
yeah.
the whole 9 yards."
Yeah. I can see it. I like it.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I like it. All right. So let's get right into it. So minimum requirements for being able to qualify. There are income limit requirements. It's county based, it's household based, depending on who's on the loan. So that's something to consider. If a couple is married and only one person is going on the loan, which is the primary person that would be qualified for this, you do not have to count the entire household income, which I think is much better because, you know, obviously that could disqualify a lot of people.
Right.
But in this case, if one can qualify a loan, you don't have to use the whole household income. Amazing. The only income really that you need to qualify is the income that's on the 1003, so the application, right? So that I think that's much better, and I think it would help much more people to do it. If you do have to add somebody on the loan, a husband or whatnot, then obviously if you need to qualify their income, then it is included in the income, and that could potentially disqualify them. We hope not, but it's something to take in consideration.
So for a quick question, can I
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes, ask away.
Yes,
Okay,
anytime.
so if like for example, Orange County, what's an estimated income limit that they can go over?
Yeah, so I believe it's 122,000. I have it. We actually have it on the next slide over
Yeah.
here. The income limit.
The income limits depending on the county.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there is a loan limit as well. So you can't go over a certain. I believe it's 400 and something thousand, but we will talk about that and specifically to this county. I will tell you that the information is pretty readily available on FloridaHousing.org. So anytime you have questions or you're wondering about a client, you're more than welcome to go on there yourself, and they have a lot of information. There's actually more people that can qualify than we thought of. Hey, Sue brought up masseuse. A masseuse can
Masseuse, you go to massage envy.
like
massage.
Can Marwy qualify?
You know what? Probably because she is a licensed.
She's that
she's a
much.
technician.
Is she-
Exactly.
She did that much.
So,
Yes,
I will
that's a
say-
great idea.
full time. You have to be full time.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
full time. She's full time. She's crossing that bar.
Yes, and I've had a couple of clients come to me and it's like, okay, well I can go full time, and I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. If you can go full time, and obviously you have to be licensed in Florida, and then there has to be a verification of employment. Absolutely have to do that. So we do verify employment. That's going to be continued.
So somebody that wants to relocate and they do the job somewhere else, they would have to have the legal requirements over here.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So if they were in Georgia,
Right. And they were, practicing whatever license that they practice over there, and they relocate, and they would have to do the relocation first. Get
100%,
established here.
yeah, get their Florida license for it, yeah, which is pretty easy to do. So, there's obviously a lot of what's the word? Can't think of the word. It just lost me right now. Opportunity.
Mhm.
There's a lot of opportunity if people can be patient coming from other states and things like that. So,
Does it have to be FHA or can
no, so it can be FHA, it can be conventional, USDA, and VA. So
Okay.
each requires their own PTI, and each has a credit score requirement. For FHA and VA, you have to have a 640 credit score, right? And you have to max out a 45% back end. If for FHA and USDA, you can have a 680 credit score and go up to 50% back end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For conventional, the max is 45%, period. And then for USDA, 45% back end with a 640 credit score as well.
When you say back end, that's when with the loan of the house.
Yes, everything. Their whole income and income to debt to ratio has to be 45% back end. And then obviously I don't know if you guys are familiar with USDA, if you guys do a lot of USDA here.
We've only done one.
So there is a system that we have to run it through first. That's not typical, like a Fannie Mae system that we do on FHA and conventional and all that. On USDA, they have their own underwriting system called GUTS. So you would have to run it through that and make sure you get a guts approval as well. So just something to think about if you have any USDA funds. And actually, you would be surprised. There are areas in Orlando that are qualified for USDA. So if you ever have any questions, I always go to the website and I put in the address and it tells me exactly if it's qualified or not.
Yeah.
Like Orange County?
Mhm. Yes, you'd be surprised. Like even in city, like I was really surprised to see that there's opportunity here.
Oh yeah.
It's not a lot, right? But you know, there is
Because I've
opportunity.
seen some listing agents, they don't list that it's USDA, but then we check and it is.
And it comes up, yeah. So,
Yeah, it's crazy, and people don't really know that it exists until you check. And I always say, always check. Even if you go, there's a website that we can send that you just click in, you see the property is eligible, and it'll tell you it's in the location.
And it gives you the income limits right there as well too. You put in
Yeah.
your income limits on the website, and it tells you everything. So I've done a few USDA loans. I think people like to think USDA is like country and like farm life, and you know the area where I'm from. but yes, it's always something to think about. If you're having a client who's having issues with down payment, but they qualify, try USDA.
I'm sorry.
No, please keep asking.
Last one.
No,
Ask
no,
away.
ask.
Yes.
Where's your ad, baby?
Do these loans take longer to close?
So initially I was told 45 days on a loan officer's first loan. But I think that I feel in our situation, because we have such a strong team and we have a loan officer that knows how to process loans and push it through. I think when you put your offer in, you could put 30 days.
Yeah.
A 30-day
30
closing.
days.
I wouldn't do anything less than 30 days.
Yeah, because when you do the Florida down payment assistance program, because it's very similar to like the Florida bond program. In fact, the same organization that's doing Florida bond is the same registrator that's going to be doing this. So you're going to still do the traditional 30 days because the processor is designated to this. So typically we'll have ESTA for all of our loans, but if we get a file that is this, it goes directly to the specialty team, which they know how to do it. So we could close it even earlier, but 30 days would say.
Yeah, I would put 30 days to be safe. So, yeah.
That was it.
No, please, if you have any questions, just interrupt me and let me know. I'm happy to stop talking. All right, so borrower must be full-time and currently employed in a position in which their license and certification is held. So full-time position. So yes, I do have a client right now that is part-time, but she is going to get an offer letter that says she's going to go full-time in order to qualify. And she wants to go full-time anyways. I think she has 3 jobs right now. So she wants to quit her other 2 jobs and focus solely on, her ENT. So that's a possibility. So yeah. So full-time minimum, we talked about this minimum credit score 640. They have 680 for manufactured homes, but do we agree that movement mortgage has an overlay right now?
So right now, the manufactured homes are ineligible for this product.
Okay.
So no manufactured homes for
Yes.
this one. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's a movement mortgage overlay. Do you guys do a lot of manufactured? Do you feel like?
I feel like we have a couple.
Yeah.
Certifieds a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's not.
2 a year.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I feel
Well, there you go. That's very exact. We limit ourselves for 2.
No, we can still do manufactured homes.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, we still got that.
Yeah, we can still do those loans, but just not
For
with this
this
program. So, all right. And then maximum DTI 45%, 640 to 679, or 50%, you have to have 680. Now this 50% is only for FHA and VA, right? So unconventional and USDA, you cannot go above 45% back in. First time home buyer, no ownership, 3+ years. I did tell you guys, so if you have a client that has an investment property, that is not considered a first time home buyer. And so they would qualify.
So Jesus Jose Negron, would he qualify? Jose Negron?
For this, if I remember his income though, I don't know if he made a whole lot of money. Because I want to say
I think he does.
he might be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of the
top.
income limit.
Yeah. For this county, you're talking about for Orange County.
He makes too much money.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to say Osceola, but I think it's not that far.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close.
Well, you are in luck because the next slide is.
Over 120,000.
Yes.
He might be live, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then why is this?
Or the
Yeah, he's like, well, if you make that much, why are you? He wants to buy for that amount. He qualified for much more.
No, but we're
But-
waiting on
but he-
verification of
Employment for the overtime, I believe it's the issue.
for the old employer.
For the
But
old
I think he submitted the pay stub.
100 pay stubs.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's it?
No, he just sent a bunch of pay stubs. I know he
Did he send them to you in a picture?
Yeah, no.
Text?
Actually, very nice PDF.
Oh,
very,
that's amazing.
very nice PDF. Yeah. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that once you add his overtime that we're using to qualify, he's gonna qualify for it. He just has a lot of debt, which brings him back to.
Okay, because he has a house in Puerto
PR.
Rico, but because it's an investment, she was telling us that he can qualify.
If it's an investment property, yes. I have to see if it has to be an investment property already, because in this case, I think he's departing residence.
Oh,
From
and then
PR?
he's going to.
Supporting residents.
Is he leaving PR?
No, he's here. Right?
He's here, so yeah.
He
I'll have
works here.
I have to check and see if those are on his taxes. I'll have to look and see if that investment property is on his tax returns.
Look at us. We're already getting like our.
Hey, we're already getting some
Think
loans.
outside the
Hey
box,
guys,
like,
if you
yeah.
have some loans,
Hey, yeah. Think outside the
We
box.
think outside-
Yes. We're already starting to take applications
Yeah.
over here. So this part is the purchase amount right here. This is the max purchase amount too. So something to think about. That's what that is. So
Yeah.
there's some limitations there for that, but it makes sense with the income limitations as well.
Yeah.
So
Because for the most part, those are going to be like the top 5 counties that we usually see. But there's like everywhere in Florida. So like if it's down south, it's going to be a little bit higher, but you're still the income limits. For the most part, when I saw central, east, and west, just in this area, we're practically 118 and 124 in that range.
These are good to like put out on social media.
Yeah.
Like when you share the slides.
Absolutely.
you can put these in.
Yeah,
People
absolutely.
love to see like lists.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're like,
absolutely.
okay, I qualify that. I'm in there. I can
They'll
do it.
call you.
yeah. And just make sure that they understand that if they have another person going on the loan, that will also be included in their
In their
income.
Yeah. I have one right now that thank God they both qualify, but just so you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, and this is very, very easily accessible. Like boom, you go to floridahousing.org,
Yeah.
and then it tells you right there. You just click on it, brings up a whole nice sheet, and bada bing, right there.
Bing, bang, boom.
Bada boom. All right, so what professions qualify? Look at all this, and this is just
correction officer.
this is like nothing compared to what it.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
There's
Looks
a
like
lot
over
more.
90.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I went through them and I was like, I just picked a few of them that I was like, oh, okay, that, because it's a range. Because it had teacher, but then it could be school, counselor, it could be childcare. It's like there were so many types of teachers.
Isn't that
So
wild?
like some of the things that I would tackle is I would go to daycares, I would go to, your schools, sometimes for the high school, they let you do those when they do their meetings and stuff. Great place to start. Massage and the massage there. Every massage place, really. Veterinarians, they don't get a lot of love. We gotta give some love to not just the dogs, but to the people that take care of our dogs.
Yeah.
It's a huge
Yeah,
list.
it's a huge list, and so people are tackling them now and going after them. So as a real estate perspective, it's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah. And then I see that you did not list police officer.
Well, I kind of put correction officer. I mean, I kind of felt like,
Alright,
you
no,
know,
it's okay.
Follows.
if
okay.
I get, I'll take
No.
it.
No, it's totally fine. But yes, obviously police officers as well.
And it's only one borrower, so only one. So like both don't need, like if it's husband and wife, only one of them have to be. The wife doesn't need to be in any of those positions. So it's just one.
veterans. I was
Yeah.
a little
Veterans,
confused.
yes, veterans also. But obviously we have the VA
Right.
program, but this is also available for veterans as well.
So like a husband and wife who are under these professions can buy 2 houses.
Technically speaking, if they want to buy one by one, they can technically buy it, yes.
Oh wow.
She's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. She's like, okay.
Opportunity,
Yeah.
baby. Yes. Yeah. So, and then look more. Like, and this is on the website. I think it's directly under the income
Yeah.
limitations. It tells you what qualifies for this program. Boom, you click on it, and it brings up the whole list. So just remember, full time, they have to be licensed in Florida.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing too. So first-time home buyer course, yes, they do have to have a first-time home buyer course. They do have to pre-purchase it. I believe it's around 70. Am I correct on that? $70 to $80
Yeah,
to do the first-time home buyer course.
And
It is
we-
required.
and we can do, so
I'm sorry, how much was it?
About 70 to 80.
$70 to $80 is the course, and they do it through Framework. They can online. We are also going to start doing those first-time homebuyer courses in person, so that way
I
the
love
clients
that.
can just come in, do it with us, and then we can give them the certification.
Yeah, I love that.
Would that be free or would that be with $80 payment? You get it in?
That we're working on it being free because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get certified ourselves to
Yeah,
give those
We have to be
classes,
certified as well. to do
so
that.
then we can go ahead and do those
So
courses and
that's
get the
good for
certificate.
like first time home buyer seminars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go to schools. We can
Yeah.
go to like, knock on
Oh, like at
people's door, like,
schools.
hey, business
Yeah.
to business type of thing.
Exactly.
So do you have any questions on the first time home buyer course? You guys will update on that. And then exemptions, veterans are exempt, all right? So they don't have to take the first time home buyer's
Oh,
course,
wow.
right?
And they don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
And they don't, I'm sorry, I did not know
Oh,
that
you
part.
have to be a first time
So
home
if
buyer.
you're a veteran, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
Oh.
So
Okay,
if
your
I
exemption
want to
applies to
buy
all
a property,
programs.
Ponte de la pila.
Ponte la pila, yes.
hello?
it's on my credit right now.
Aquí, hey, we got an application.
application,
Yeah, you're right.
Well, my credit right now. That,
Well, Wendy, there you go.
no. Don't ask me twice.
Yeah. Forget about this PowerPoint. Hey guys, we're going out.
We're done with our
We're checking it out.
We're taking that.
Check
Alex,
part.
Are you in?
Yeah,
No,
part
I'm kidding.
2. Check part 2 for.
Yeah, so any questions about the veteran requirements or anything there?
I want to know more a little bit off camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, we can talk outside on
We can talk. I'll meet you outside.
All right. So what is it, right? How do they pay this back, right? They get up to 5% of the purchase price, and this can go towards their closing costs and their down payment. The max is $25,000. That's the max that they're able to get, but it is 5% of the purchase price. And then so it is a I never can say this word right. Amortizing. I always mess it up, guys. And it is due to be paid back at the sale of the home or refinance of the home, or once the deed is transferred into your name. It is required to be paid in full, I believe.
Yeah.
Once it's transferred into your name or out of your name?
Into your once you own the home and you're done with the mortgage, that is when the
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
due.
Oh, when you pay off.
So there's
Yeah,
no
when you pay it
mortgage.
off, yes.
Yeah.
And I believe that you can pay it off little by
You
little
can.
as you go along as well,
So
which is what I highly recommend.
It's 0% interest. So
0%
it's
interest.
not like the regular first time home buyer.
Correct. You have no payment on it whatsoever. It is a second lien with no payment.
Yeah, so it's what the industry calls soft second. So you don't even know it exists until you decide to do those three things. And so I've had people, what they'll do is they'll put a goal that they'll pay it every tax refund. They'll just put it towards that, and they can pay it like just give it back. I mean, it's 0%, like it's free money.
Right.
Or they just divide it by 30 years, and then little by little they do
Yeah.
automatic.
Every year.
Yeah, make a small payment or whatever you can towards it, and that's what I feel like I would do.
Even
I
if you don't
qualify.
finish it, and the time that you want to sell or refinance and you owe $10,000, you could refinance that into your loan and that's it and be done with it.
And be done with it. Yeah. This is what I did find out. This is what I loved about this too. Is so you can still receive gifts, and a gift can also be used to pay down debt, right? If they need debt paid off. So that's what I thought it was good because you can also receive additional funds to help. So if you have somebody that's willing to give a gift for anything, you can add that into it, which I thought was pretty cool.
And you can also utilize the money towards the down payment
Mhm.
of the home. So let's say that the seller was contributing 2% and the buyer's like, hey, I'll cover the closing costs and I want to put $25,000 towards my principal. You can put your principal and that's going to help you lower your monthly payment.
Isn't that great?
so-
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Does it has to be a primary residence?
It has
It
to be a
does.
primary residence.
And then just the note,
No.
please note, it cannot be, the money cannot be used to cover the cost of between sales price and appraised value,
So
obviously.
it can't be the appraisal. You can't use it for like appraisal value.
So
So that's important, yeah. So if it under appraises, then it's not gonna go towards that. It's not,
But the buyer can always pay the difference.
yeah, they can pay the difference,
They
exactly.
can still pay the difference for getting gifts, which is,
Yeah.
I just love that.
And typically, honestly, it's like if the buyer was not, if there's an appraisal gap of 5,000, that still can go towards your closing costs. So when you look at it, you still have to pay 5,000 at closing, but you can always lower the principal. You can put that towards closing costs. You could lower the interest rate by doing buy downs.
I love that part.
Yeah, with the rates as crazy as they are today,
Yeah.
hey, get 10,000 of this money and put it towards your rate.
I agree.
Even though that it,
Yeah, that's a smart idea. Yeah.
Does it have a different interest rate, the getting this program, like than the regular loan?
So right now, the first mortgage is Florida e-housing puts the rate.
Mhm.
So they determine what that rate's going to be. So that rate can be right now is 5.5 right now for the rate.
And they say that it's usually lower, right? Like it's usually get a better rate on
Because the
this
truth
program.
is that no matter if you have a 640 or you have an 800, 5.5. So you have somebody that has a 645, their rate is going to be more closer to the 6%. So in this case, they're going to get a better rate with. So it's kind of really like a really nice spot for people that have that 640 to a 680 credit score, still very competitive with the market.
I agree. Yeah, and their rates are on the Florida Housing Network as well.
Yeah.
Where they list the rates
Yeah.
every day for it. So you can yourself know what the rate is.
Yeah,
And-
it's
and
public,
educate
you
your-
can see it, and it changes every day. So sometimes you'll see it at 5.25, 5.5. We haven't seen it in the 4s for more than 6 months when Florida bond was 4.75.
Yeah.
That
was awesome.
That was great.
That was like
I
oh,
remember when I used to do when Florida e-housing had $15,000 forgivable after 5 years, 0% interest rate at
That's amazing.
4%.
Yeah.
I was doing so many of those, like
Yeah.
bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
like so many of those.
Yeah, think about how many people you help. They're
Oh my
investing
God.
in their home and they're living their best life. I love it. So we talked about this. When does a buyer have to pay back the second mortgage? Do you guys have any questions about that portion of it? Okay. All right. Next slide, please. The cruise team.
Okay,
hi. So this is what we strive to do, right? This is our everyday. This is what we want. We want to change lives, one closing at a time. We want people to invest. We want people to be aware, be educated how important it is to buy a home and not to rent. And so changing lives one closing at a time. And hopefully, yes, this will open up new doors and help more and more people to be able to get into a home.
Yep, we're applying.
Well, guys, we gotta go. We got some people to apply for a home loan today, so we'll be on next episode.
Yeah. Any questions? Alex? You guys? Feel good about it?
Pretty good, yeah. 'Cause we didn't know a lot of stuff.
You did great.
Thank you guys.
Yay.
Thank you.